What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to Financial Footprints Podcast. My name is Kolin Hayes, financial planner. I am your host, and in today's episode, we're going to talk about all things IRAs. What is an IRA? How do you choose between a Roth IRA, a traditional IRA? What do those even mean? Everything and all things IRA. Like always, I don't know your situation. I don't know your income. I don't know your goals. I don't know anything about you. This is not personalized financial advice. This is all simply for educational purposes only. So, with that being said, first thing is first, what is an IRA? What does IRA mean? Well, IRA stands for Individual Retirement Account. This is not a 401k, which maybe the episode's already out, but I will be doing an episode on 401ks. But this is individual retirement account. You as an individual have to set up this retirement account. Now, the second word, retirement. The purpose of an IRA is to save for retirement. And because it is a retirement account, there are certain tax benefits. Now, the benefits might differ between traditional or Roth, but there are certain tax benefits that are given to you if you have money in an IRA. So now you might have the next question, which is, what is the difference between traditional IRAs and Roth IRAs? Now, I'm going to walk through maybe a long list of the differences, and then after I talk through the differences, I'll give you a shortened and condensed list of what the differences are. So, the first one here is a traditional IRA. A traditional IRA is I'm getting the tax benefit now, but in the future, I will pay the taxes. So, when you turn age 59 and a half, money that is in a traditional IRA, as well as a Roth IRA, can be taken out without penalty. With IRAs, if you take it out early, you will be taxed on that money and penalized an extra 10% on the distribution. They just want to disincentivize you to pulling out money early, but if you want to, you could. Just know you're going to have to pay a 10% penalty by doing that. So a traditional IRA, the money that you contribute this year, the current contributions are tax deductible. You save money on taxes now in the year that you contribute. By doing that, you're lowering your taxable income for the year of contribution. However, when it comes time for you to take that money out, age 59 and a half, age 67, or maybe RMD age, I'll talk about that in a second. But when you take that money out, that is when you pay taxes. You pay taxes on all the money pulled out, including your contributions. Why? Because when you put the money in, present day, you were able to get the deduction now. So in the future, you're paying taxes. Also, with a traditional IRA and a Roth IRA, the money that grows, the dividends that you get, the earnings, as long as they stay inside of the account, they are tax-free every single year. They are tax-free earnings. Now, if you take money out, that's a different story, but money staying inside the IRA grows tax-free, right? You don't have to pay taxes on it. Now, with the IRA, traditional IRA, when you pull that money out after age 59 and a half, that's when you pay the taxes. But the growth is tax deferred or tax-free, depending on which one it is, right? For a traditional IRA, there are no income limits. You can make $15,000 for the year, or you can make $15 million for the year. There are no income limits for contributions. Now, with traditional IRAs, there are income limits for tax deductibility if you or your spouse have a retirement plan at work. So, depending on if your spouse or you have a retirement plan, usually a 401k or a 403b are the two popular ones, at work, you might not be able to deduct your contributions to your IRA. I'll leave more info down in the show notes below. Now, how much can you put into an IRA every single year? Well, for 2025, and it usually changes year by year, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it does, but in 2025, the limit for IRA contributions is $7,000. So you can put in a total of $7,000 into your IRA this year, 2025. And if you are age 50 or older, you can actually put in an extra $1,000 for a total of $8,000 into your IRA in 2025. And a fun fact about IRAs is you have the calendar year to make those contributions. If you want to max it out, you have the full year plus up until the following year's tax day. So you actually get a couple extra months going into the following year to max out your IRA for the year. But the limit's $7,000 for 2025, $8,000 if you are age 50 or older. Now, the thing with IRAs is, let's say, okay, I'm going to take the tax deferral. I'm going to put some money in, tax defer, tax defer, tax defer. I get to age 73, 74, 75, depending on how old you are. Maybe it could even be older by the time, if you're in your early 20s, 30s, by the time we get there. But there's something called RMDs, required minimum distributions. This is the government saying you've deferred enough taxes, right? You defer. We want some of that tax money. We want some of that tax revenue. So we're going to require you, again, it depends on your year of birth, what your RMD age is, but we're going to require you to start taking out money out of your tax deferred accounts, in this case, traditional IRA, 73, 74, 75 years old. We have a formula that you have to take out a certain amount every single year. Why? Because they want you to have to take out money and pay taxes on it. So there's something called RMDs, required minimum distributions. If you're in early 20s or 30s, it's not necessarily something you need to worry about right now, but it is something to think about if you choose the traditional IRA route. Now let's compare that to Roth IRAs. Roth IRAs. Notice the difference, Roth. Traditional, Roth. This is a Roth. A Roth IRA is kind of like the inverse, a little bit different. The money that you contribute this year is not tax deducted. It is already taxed. It is post-tax or after-tax dollars. You don't get any tax benefit up front. With the traditional IRA, you're getting the tax deduction right now. You're getting the tax benefit today. With the Roth IRA, there is no tax deduction up front. There's no benefit. You've already paid income taxes on that money, then you contribute it to the Roth IRA. So there's no tax benefit today. But just like the IRA, so the similarity is the earnings grow tax-free, right? Year over year, the dividends you earn, the sales that you make with a gain, there's no taxes paid on that as long as they stay within the shelter of the Roth IRA. Here's where the tax benefit comes into play. At age 59 and a half and older, you get to take out money from the Roth IRA, no taxes, 100% tax-free. All the earnings that you've made, tax-free. Pretty nice, right? So essentially, you're not getting any tax benefit today, but in the future, the tax benefit comes into play. It says all the money that your Roth IRA contributions made you, as long as you take them out after age 59 and a half, you get to have it 100% tax-free. That's pretty nice because with the IRA, when you take it out, you're going to have to pay income tax on that. With the Roth IRA, they say, hey, you've already paid income tax on this money 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago. You don't have to owe any taxes, any income tax on the earnings or the contributions. That's the big difference between the Roth IRA and the traditional IRA. Now, here's where the caveat I was talking about earlier comes into play with Roth IRAs. Since the contributions that you've made into a Roth IRA have already been paid taxes on, that is after-tax money, you can actually withdraw the contributions from your Roth IRA at any time without penalty and without paying taxes on it because you already paid taxes on that money. Now, this should probably be seen as last resort because Roth IRA money, if you go that route, is so pure, the opportunity that you're given with a Roth IRA. But it is just important to know that the contributions that you make within a Roth IRA the contributions can be withdrawn at any time because you already paid taxes on that money. Some other things about a Roth IRA is, unlike the IRA, the Roth IRA has income limits for when you can contribute to a Roth IRA. Again, I'll put those down in the links below. But there are certain income limits that if you make over a certain amount, you might not be able to contribute to a Roth IRA. Now, that doesn't mean you can't get money into a Roth IRA But if you make over a certain income limit, you might have to do what's called a backdoor Roth IRA. I'll talk more about that in a future episode, or maybe that episode's already out when you're listening to this. But there are certain income limits for contributions to a Roth IRA. Now, the contributions in 2025 are the exact same as an IRA, which is $7,000 for the year, plus $1,000 if you're age 50 or older as a catch-up contribution for a total of $8,000 for the year. So contribution limits are the exact same between traditional and Roth IRAs. But with a Roth IRA, there's no RMDs. There's no required minimum distributions. The government says you've already paid taxes on the contributions. That's enough for us. We're not going to require you to take out money at a certain age. We're not going to require you to take out this money with a specific formula at age 73, 75, 74, whatever RMD age you have. There's no government saying that. So there's no RMD amounts. So you can keep that money to continue to grow up until age 95, age 80, without having to actually take out money, without required minimum distributions. So key differences. What are the differences? A, tax treatment. Traditional IRA is tax deduction now, but we pay taxes later. We pay income taxes later. Roth IRA is no tax deduction now, but we get tax-free withdrawals later. B, when do we pay our taxes? Well, traditional IRA, like I said, we pay taxes on withdrawals, income taxes on withdrawals at retirement or in retirement. Roth IRA, we pay taxes on our contributions up front, but not on withdrawals. C, income limits. Traditional IRA has no income limits. However, if you are covered or your spouse is covered by a retirement plan at work, there are income limits to the deductibility of your IRA contribution, which again, I'll be posted down in the show notes below. With a Roth IRA, there are income limits eligible to contribute. I'll link those down in the show notes below as well. D, RMDs, required minimum distributions. Traditional IRAs, yes, there are RMDs. Now, depending on the age you're born, it might be 73, 74, 75. I don't know the future. It could be 76, 77. I don't know. But as of today, 73, 74, or 75 is probably what your RMD age will be. But just Google your year of birth, RMD age, and that will tell you what your RMD age is. With a Roth IRA, there's no RMDs. So you can grow that money for as long as you want without having to be required to take out money. So the general rules of thumb when selecting Roth versus traditional is really the tax savings that you're going to get that really depends on your current tax bracket versus your expected tax bracket when you distribute money out, when you take withdrawals. Here's a good rule of thumb. Again, I don't know your situation. This is not personalized to you. I don't know your situation, but this is a good rule of thumb to follow. Choose the traditional route if you believe your current tax rate, your current marginal tax rate is higher than it will be in the future. Now, why would you choose the Roth route? Well, if you believe that your tax rate today is lower than it will be in the future, then it's probably better to choose the Roth route. As of 2025, if you're in the 10% tax bracket, 12%, Roth is probably the better route to choose. If you're in the 22 or 24%, you could really argue either way, Roth or traditional is the good route to go. Some people I know say, hey, I'm all about Roth. Some people say, hey, we can be smart with traditional and do it that way. 32, 35, or 37% tax bracket, you're probably better off choosing traditional. But here is the key, no matter which one you choose. Unlike a 401k, an IRA is an individual retirement account. You go set it up on whatever platform you're investing on. You contribute money into that. When you contribute it, it's just going to go sit in cash. So the key, no matter which one you choose, you have to make sure the money that you deposit into that account is actually invested into something. There are stories upon stories upon stories of people who opened up a Roth IRA, who opened up a traditional IRA, and were so excited to start investing into a retirement account. They deposit $1,000, $7,000, they max it out, whatever they do, they deposit that money, and they left it in there. They didn't invest it. It was in cash. The next year they put in more money. It was in cash. The next year they put in more money. It was in cash. Many, many years, 5, 10 years in some of these stories where people deposited money into their IRAs, not realizing they had to go in there and actually buy something with it. So that is the biggest key. If you open up one of these accounts, make sure that you actually invest the money you deposit. But hopefully this episode gave you a little bit of education on the difference between traditional IRAs, Roth IRAs, and maybe a good rule of thumb or some rules of thumbs on how to decide what is best for you. I highly recommend, if you are unsure or unclear or don't know which one's best for your specific situation, to reach out to a financial planner that is fee only, that can help you with your situation, help you decide what is the best route for you. Thank you all for listening to the Financial Footprints podcast. My name is Kolin Hayes, financial planner, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.